Press start to begin.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Super Bonus Round. We are back with more Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. I'm your host, John Mugiwara Jam, and joined as always by my co-host, Chad Peanut.
Hey!
And Rich Ramers 767. The yes bit has gone on so long. The more bit crushed it gets. I don't even hear yes I hear. I just hear in the microphone.
Okay, this is me. When I saw a fat man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward both of them.
You saw a fat man? It's time to get back to bombs.
It's time to start the party.
I think I knocked away the man with the knife.
Yeah, that's usually the way to do it. Did you shoot him in the head because he's wearing armor everywhere else? Also, he's fast because of the roller skates.
Yeah.
Just then, there was another flash of lightning. And fast when I saw the blue bastard. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
Laugh and grow fat.
Yes. This is certainly most unusual.
Objection!
Try impossible. The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year.
Do you see the typo in there?
Yeah.
Hadn't even designed him. Designed. That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago.
Yes. Well,
Stop! Please, don't pursue this any further.
Wow, new art for Lana. Lana!
what's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
Oh, I didn't even know she was sitting.
But you can't do this. I've already confessed to the crime.
No, now you speak up?
Why can't you just leave it at that?
Chief Prosecutor Sky. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back. Silence! The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant.
Seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter.
Oh. Oh shit, music change, yeah. We're getting close.
Okay, let's see. All right, I know the answer. 2, 3, 4, 5. What? Well, so if the blue badger didn't exist, what else could have made that shape, do you think?
Check the evidence.
I think it was that.
Yes, but first... Ah, there you go. You think it was that? Okay. Oh, well, we have to present it first. The mysterious blue badger was, in fact, this.
But that's... what exactly is that?
I believe it's some sort of jar.
But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue bastard.
Indeed it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint?
A viewpoint?
I gotta show them the correct angle to look at this from.
Bingo.
Not quite.
Wait. Pull it.
Right here.
Okay.
This isn't right. I gotta make it look. Hold on.
Objection!
Allow me to remind the defense its case hinges on the witness's drawing. If Mr. Wright can't match the shape the witness drew,
Oh, shit.
we cannot accept his claim.
I'm gonna find-
Oh, wait a minute. Wasn't it turned a different way?
Perhaps. Well, that hole wouldn't be there.
Yeah, but you can rotate it, right?
Objection!
It can't be the broken handle because the broken handle isn't there.
Isn't it the other way?
Let me...
No.
Yes!
Yeah!
Well, is this a miracle or what? No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the Blue Badger.
No. It can't be. Order! Order! The defense has proven its claim. I'm sick of seeing that shit multiple times. The mysterious Blue Badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this.
Objection!
Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point?
What do you mean?
So that badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything.
Objection!
I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything.
Indeed, very well then. Please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar?
The location.
Murder weapon?
No, the location.
Oh.
You can't see that jar from that angle unless it got knocked over or something. Allow me to take these in turn. Because remember, that angle is from like kind of the top of the jar. At the moment of the murder, this witness saw this jar.
At a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright.
Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar?
Where?
The location of the jar is shown in the picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gantz.
But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself.
Yeah, didn't she hide under her desk when they were having a scuffle? Yes, and it's these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room in Chief Gantz's office.
Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Gantz's office to Lana Sky's office?
Yes.
Why would he do that? There's no reason.
Exactly.
What?
If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason.
Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright?
I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying?
That would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit?
Ah!
The suit of armor, holding a very sharp and dangerous-looking sword.
Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy.
No, Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking.
Yes, there is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room.
Another possibility?
Of course, the perpetrator would have no idea, but nevertheless. I don't know if I can go through with this.
Mr. Wright, what's the matter? If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Skye knocked away was actually prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Oh shit.
Plop.
You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? No!
I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented.
Do you know what that means then?
What?
This whole thing has been hinging on Joe Dark was sentenced to death because he killed Neil Marshall. But if Neil Marshall wasn't killed by Joe Dark, what does that mean?
Oh.
That Joe Dark
Yeah,
was sent to death
evidence.
for nothing.
Yeah. What? What are you saying?
Granted, he did kill all those other people, but they put him to death specifically for the death of the prosecutor. But now we know that that's not what happened. I'm sorry, Miss Skye, but given the circumstances...
Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall. How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her?
Another one.
Imagine that coming from you.
Ooh.
Ooh.
If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out what Emma did, wasn't it?
I see you, Mr. Edgeworth. I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're gonna have to have proof. Tell me. You have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall?
Evidence?
Oh.
I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes, it certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence. If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony.
I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead.
Certainly can't get dead people to testify. It's all been a wild goose chase from the beginning.
Touché, Miss Skye. Of course, that only leaves us with one possibility.
You mean there's still another possibility?
What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message. For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life in one manner or another.
That's impossible.
Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist?
I've got to think back to the court record. The real murderer's name on that victim may have left behind, is in the evidence. This message from the deceased is already in our possession.
Mr. Wright, will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer?
Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky.
Huh?
Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek. The truth. No matter how painful it may be. Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased.
Do you know where that is? We were just yelling and staring at it for a while.
Seriously, it's a jar?
The jar.
This is the message left by the deceased.
This is that blue badger from before, right?
Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name?
Yes, I will. It was your sister. She's going to be in the electric chair.
You fucking cunt. If that thing could, I'm sure it would.
Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar.
Jar?
A message was left here on the surface of this jar.
What do you mean?
If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood in this jar.
Looks like someone wiped the blood away.
These were also the pieces in Gant's safe. Yes, but notice, for some reason the blood on some of the fragments was not wiped away.
Yes, there is a line here drawing blood. So what you're saying is these dots were once lines.
Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments life left him to leave behind a message.
One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions.
Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points, and the victim's message will become apparent.
No.
Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us?
Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. Gotta connect these dots to make letters. There's only one thing the victim would have written, given the circumstances. His murderer's name. Oh, actually...
Ah, it is Emma.
It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma.
So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Of all people. She may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life
Was Emma Sky.
Sir Wadley! Can't say I didn't warn you! Chief Gant. Do you understand the implications of what you've done? What? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Doc was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not? Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction.
But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer. That's undeniable.
I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know we aren't defenders of justice?
Ah, so the cops finally admit it. What?
We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery. Ultimately, the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied.
What's going on in the prosecutor's office? They might have sent an innocent man to his death. How could you just state it like it was his fault?
Order! Plop.
No, he has to let out a fart for that one to, that's just everyone to stop. The gavel's pounding.
Add the sound effect in there later.
The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows.
Christ Almighty. Oh, Christ Almighty.
I think that's the last to be continued of the game.
Oh my God.
This is why I told you guys to stop the last time, because this is what happens. February 25th, 12:06, District Court, Defendant Lobby 2. Sorry, Edgeworth. I didn't mean to get you in trouble.
Don't worry about it. This is my problem, not yours. Oh, no, think anything, pals!
Oh, God.
Jesus Christ, you! Oh, yes, I'll come back later.
Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
You know what it is, pal? Me and Detective run all around while on duty. And top it off, you call me here? I've seen happier people at funerals.
I take it Lana's having you run errands again.
Let me tell you, this is the last time, pal. Here, she asked me to give you this. She asked me to give this to you if there was a break in today's trial.
The picture on the book. The evidence law? Edward was talking about this just the other day.
You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule 1, no evidence shall be shown without approval of the police department.
Is that right, Mr. Wright?
It seems so.
You could at least study some evidence law, right? Really?
The chief prosecutor also wanted me to give you a message.
A message?
She said, if you're planning to take him on, you're going to need this book.
Him. I guess I'll need to give this book a thorough read.
Doesn't look like that book will do you any good now, though.
I don't know. Why don't we check that real quick? Oh.
Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial.
Remember that rule. Remember that rule.
Yep, unregistered evidence. All that's left now is a chief prosecutor's sentence.
That's where you're wrong, Detective.
Huh? Haven't you figured it out yet? Why I'm still sitting in that prosecutor's seat? Despite all these allegations being thrown at me. Mr. Edgeworth! The real trial today hasn't begun yet. What? What else is there left to do? Your credibility's been all ruined with this foreign evidence you were unaware of. And the Sky found out she unwittingly caused a man's death. And now you're telling me you want to do more? You gotta be kidding me, pal!
You're missing the point, Detective. Lana didn't murder Detective Goodman. She merely struck a knife into his dead body. That means the real killer is still out there.
And it's Chief fucking Gant! What?
Oh, knocked over my drink. Don't worry.
Oh shit.
Don't worry, it's a G Fuel with a cup with a lid. It's fine. And we're gonna expose him, no matter what it takes. This case has hurt too many people. It's time to bring it to an end. February 25th, 1252, District Courtroom number 9.
Court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Actually, we getting pretty close here, John.
Why don't we get to
yeah.
let's get to the first testimony first.
Alright, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, Your Honor. The inquiry committee is planning to impose harsh penalties for your actions. Thank you for the news, Your Honor.
Taking it with grace, at least.
Yes, well... Normally, this is where the prosecution calls forth a witness. But, this isn't easy to say. You see, there is some concern that you, Mr. Edgeworth, may have, struck a bargain. You think I may have manipulated the witnesses. I didn't say that.
I was thinking it loudly, though.
It's just, you see, everyone has been talking and... Very well, Your Honor. I have a solution. A solution! That being the case, the prosecution will allow the defense to call forth all further witnesses. What? But there's no precedent for what you're proposing! Undeniably, this is an unusual arrangement, but a very effective one. It would prove that I haven't struck any deals with the witnesses. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you say?
Unbelievable. Edgeworth has found a way to continue the trial. Very well. The defense accepts the prosecution's proposal.
And it's settled. The, defense may now call forth the next witness. Mr. Wright? You do realize this is your last chance. If you call the wrong witness, this trial is as good as over.
The defense calls. Time's finally come to bring out the real murderer.
Gant.
Damon Gant. The defense calls Damon Gant to the stand.
The Damon Grant? What does he have to do with anything?
As the defendant's partner 2 years ago, Mr. Gant has first-hand knowledge of the crime. I feel we should hear what he has to say about it.
As luck would have it, he should still be in the courthouse. He would also be the least likely to have been manipulated by me in any way. Wouldn't you agree, Your Honor? True. All right, bailiff, please escort Mr. Gant to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation.
What is this, some kind of practical joke? I was just on my way to lunch.
Your name and occupation, sir.
Waddy, are you sure you want to do this?
Your name and occupation. So, you want to play hardball, eh? Please, Mr. Gant.
Fine. My name is Devin Gant. I'm the acting chief of police.
Now then, Chief Gant, the court requests to hear your testimony.
Ah, righto. What's with the grim face?
First, let's clear up this SL9 incident.
Oh, you mean that time when Lana's sister murdered that prosecutor? Personally, I think it's been made pretty clear already.
There are still some things unaccounted for.
Oh, like what?
Like the role you played in all of this.
Son, either you're very brave or very foolish. You are aware, of course, that a police chief has all kinds of weapons at his disposal. Phrasing!
This is not something an innocent man says. Weapons.
Sure, take my testimony, for example. I don't have to give it if I don't want to.
This is not something. This is not something an innocent man says. What? Was that true?
Wait! I'm afraid so. The chief of police has the right to refuse to testify. Of course, such an action carries with it certain risks.
Don't worry, I'm not here to hinder your trial. Just remember, if this turns out to be a big waste of time, don't say I didn't warn you.
Oh, God.
Very well. The witness may now begin his testimony.
No, he may not. He will begin it another time.
And that time is next time on the
Super bonus round.
So thank you guys again so much for watching. We gotta take down a cop. The biggest cop of them all.
Living a dream.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.